The word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
I think a new world order is emerging.
An inside job? How dare you? How dare you?
To create, so to say, mass-produced models of human beings arranged in some kind of a scientific caste system.
We shall go on to the end. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall never surrender.
Well, good morning, UCY.TV. Thanks for being a part, y'all. It's Vince Easley standing in for Walter Hendricks for the Solvinur event. Today's title is Nonconformity, and I hope that this will get me in a lot of trouble with some folks. So let's see how this goes. Normally I take a good week to prepare for an hour, so I had about 3 hours or something this morning. I woke up and started doing my deal here at UCY, setting notifications for the day. Weekends are really fantastic. Of course, all week is great, but especially the weekends. And I'm going to go ahead and do this, JJ. I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this show to Mr. JJ Inc., my good friend, who's really responsible for me being here right now. Of course, as is Jules, our great programming director here at UCY.TV. So, hey, it's all your fault, JJ. If you don't like it, blame him. I've got a little bit lined up, and is what I hope to do is get some participation here in chat, which those people are Dal Nick, Dan B. Cooper, Grump, Hopper, Lone Frog, JJ Jules, Maddie, Solvinur, that's Walter, and Becky, Victory Through Vegetables, and myself, Vincent Easley, the second. That's a Cap II, which Captain Gringo's out fishing, so he's not listening today. But let's see where this show goes. So, again, welcome everybody listening, and also a big shout out to worldtruth.org. Thanks, Grammy Mary Grimner at Real Liberty Media. We, of course, simulcast here, Hal, every Sunday, who's preceded by Mr. JJ Inc., and before that, Ron Stevens, a fairly new show. Been on a few months now here on UCY. Some very good instructors, Jules, Hal, JJ, Ron, so many great people here. JJ, I love you, man. Yeah, you're awesome. Now look, here's the deal. Nonconformity. Okay, so everybody here in chat's probably got a little different opinion on this and that, and I don't know. I think sometimes maybe people I don't have crabs, JJ says. We do have a little bit of a different idea sometimes, right? And that don't mean that we can't be friends just because we don't have the same idea, notions, same religion, or whatever, right? I think it's very important to make an exploration. Now, I did see some episodes here at UCY titled "What Matters Worldwide," working on Volume 2 or Voyage 2. That is, which I like to call it a voyage of exploration. We certainly have. There's not one of us here that can claim to know it all, right? There's what we don't know exists outside of a certainty that we have, an idea, our notions, and so forth. So there's a possibility that each of us may be right, it may be wrong. I'd like to, I pulled some stuff together, like I said this morning, and I would like to quote Gun Daniel. He posts to my timeline on Facebook pretty often. Not pretty often, but rarely. And you know what? Connecting Voices is my subtitle there for Vincent Easley II. And that's what I'm about. I'm not a genius. Don't claim to be. I may or may not be smarter than you, but most likely, if you're listening here right now, probably the not is going to be the norm for that. So, but I do consider myself qualified to speak, even if I don't do a real good job. My vocabulary, my structure, whatever. You know, this is more stuff I'm working on and learning, trying to improve myself, trying to learn more and more and more. So, from Gun Daniel, I shared his post. Life is only a gamble to those who think it's a game. He says trust, and you can find him at villageofkillers.com. So, on that on that website there, I got this from him. People search for heroes daily, lose a savior inside themselves in the process, and sit and wait for help to come. During this time of waiting, the realization that they should be proactive never seems to come, while they wait for someone to come. You arrive. Tell them, follow me, and they will come along, because it's easier to stay in that same mind frame rather than abstain from being chained. Now, this goes along with the theme that I've tried to set for the day. So tug, and they'll come along with whatever patch fits their punctured cells, with whatever patch that fits their punctured cells. These are the people who really don't help each other. Let me try that again. These are the people who really don't, these are the people who don't really help each other because they don't even know how to help themselves. Now, how true is that? So that leaves us where a lot of people are afraid to step out, right? Out of the norm, out of this conformity. And I'm going to have to jump back and forth between World Truth, where I posted some stuff, worldtruth.org, and right here on Facebook. So a lot of our listeners are not on Facebook, and which I understand. I'm going to keep Facebook, but I find most of my work going over to worldtruth.org, where I get a lot more engagement by a lot more people there. I'm not going to say there's smart folks here on Facebook, and you know, I personally, I've got y'all popping up right here in my notifications. I try to have everybody's turned on, because when I'm doing something, I'm not over there on the home page and seeing the posts, which are all censored. So as they're scrolling, as they're popping up, and Becky, thanks for all the likes there. I'm seeing it. So influence, right? We all have influence on us, and sometimes we're affected by peer pressure, right? Should we speak or act differently than those about us or that are in our peer group? This morning, one of our hosts here at UCY .tv, the Continual Condition, posted a little meme, and this is from Dr. Seuss. Your brains, says, you have brains in your head and you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any way you choose, or any direction you choose. Thank you, Dr. Seuss. Becky shared Gun Daniel's post. Thank you, Becky. So, on up. Let's see. Did I need to jump over here? Back over. Where was I going? Yes, I think I do. Okay, so nonconformity, that is failure or refusal to conform to a prevailing rule or practice, right? Boy, if I was going for popularity, I certainly would not say the things that I say. And yes, Miss Jane, I have a big stick spoon to stir the pot, and we'll see how stinky it gets. Walter dropped me, and I'm going to come back to this in chat just a little earlier this morning. And it is logically fallacious. And this is the ultimate collection of over 300 logical fallacies. And I just glanced at that, but we'll be coming back to it. I did post up, by the way, I am known as, or self-titled, of the mini-me that I call myself, the paraphrased plagiarist. So sometimes I take somebody else's words and make them my own. Is that theft? Probably not. I don't think intellectual property applies, but I generally do try to give credit where credit is due. So once in a while, it really hits people. They don't have to experience the world in the way they have been told to. That's from Alan Keightley, Keighthley. Let me jump back over here to chat. What's being said in chat? Doesn't have. Oh, he got a Facebook page. Just haven't used it in years. Ribbit frog. Good morning, Hopper. Becky says it's used for a tool in her world. Call it seeding. You bet. And JJ, I love this guy. So, do it to the monkey before he does it to you. Yes, I do babble. I'm a babblator, right? Okay, so let's go back over here. I'm pretty certain that what little notes I took are not going to last very long, so I'm going to rely on your participation. Vinny Straub posted, many people die at the age of 21 but aren't buried until 72. Analyze your life. Change the variable. So, I like to say, and I wrote this when I first joined Facebook, if you don't like the way things are going, try something different, right? So I think I have a theme going from another great host. Boy, we got a lot of them right here at UCY.tv. Again, thank you for being a part of UCY.tv, connecting voices, broadcasting what matters worldwide. I see. Do you see UCY.tv? Okay, from Unlock the Door, Michael Cross. Free your mind from the chains of conformity. And do a search on YouTube and you'll find that. That's a condensed version of one of his, should I say shows, programs, broadcasts here at UCY.tv. Okay. Like I said, we have a lot of great hosts. I spend almost all my time here listening at UCY.tv. I do, of course, there are some that have a little different ideas and opinions, and so I really can't agree with anybody but myself, and I don't always do that either. So, this is one of these memes I stole that I didn't give credit to, but it was, I do recall, it came from Soulspot, and somebody shared that. I'm sorry, I forgot who that was now. But I wrote to this thought, ideas and notions take us to many places. Be free. And this meme says, we travel because we need to, because distance and difference are the secret tonic to creativity. When we get home, this is for you, Becky, when we get home is still the same, but something in our mind has changed, and that changes everything. So, by all means, free your mind, right? Just do it. Don't just do it just cause. Be the just cause. Quoting a little bit there of a lesson from Behind the Woodshed. Thank you, Hal. Set yourself free, right? Change the world. Be the change that you want to be. Appeal to tradition. Here we go. This is back to world truth. Becky liked it there too. Thank you, Becky. Let's see. Scrolling up. Where you at? It must have been in a pic. So let me just go with this. Are you you? Or someone else's idea of what you should be? Here comes some of this paraphrased plagiarism. Thank you, Freakin' Nature. She just clicked like here at World Truth on what I'm about to read, or what I plagiarized. I did cut it up a little bit and put some of my own thoughts into this, but This came from some site I found on the web, partly. So, are you you, or somebody else's idea of what you should be? Much of the way in which we behave is determined by social norms. Everywhere we go, we are under pressure from society to act and behave a certain way and are punished for not conforming to these norms. Conformity is defined as altering our behaviors, beliefs, and attitudes in order to match those of the people around you. It follows that social nonconformity is a refusal to comply with society's standards for normal attitudes, behaviors, and beliefs. And here in a little bit, I'm going to jump back over to Facebook, and I'm going to grab Russell Harold Kelly and JJ Inc. Posted a couple of things that I'll probably have to go to and scroll down to find that I would like to bring up and discuss. And that's kind of a little cross between our social, political, and religious ideologies that, to me, seems to have some confliction for Bible believers. And let me just collect notifications here. I hope you are listening over at World Truth. They're a great site. And if you're not there, come on over. Okay. Circling Somebody commented, are you or somebody else's idea of what you should be? Let us go find that real quick. And thank you all. Standing by, just 1 minute. This might take a couple of spins to get there. And I'll drop back over to chat in the meantime. Okay, here we are. Don't be spanking that monkey. Come to UCY when you're sad, and we'll help you get pissed. Thank you, Grunt. We'll help you get pissed and plot revenge on the bastard that made you sad. Yes, indeed. Corporal punishment is a simian. A simian is cruel. What? Danby Cooper should be is as a simian, I think. But it's cruelty to animals. So talking about spanking that monkey. And JJ says here he only advocates simian. Whoops. Oh, boy. You guys. All right, let's go back over here and see what Circling Somebody said. Potty mouse. Come on. And I do have molasses as the main drive of my computer here. So that's why I'm using this phone. And this is my first, I did do a test this morning. How coincidentally that I had just done a little test. I broke in over Bill Cooper this morning just to see how this phone transmitted. And it wasn't being recorded, so nobody was even listening but me. Okay, so from Circling Somebody, responding to are you or somebody else's idea of what you should be. Big applause, yay, true testimony. A profound nonconformity arouses a fiercest of violence against it. And that's from Ivan Illich, Illich. That is a quote. So, do we all have to believe the same thing or not? What do you think? What do you think indeed? I'm going to go back to Facebook here. Let's see, I'm going to quickly run out of what it is I have here. Becky wrote this, and I quoted her. She wrote this in chat earlier, and I had a little parentheses in there for clarity. Becky writes, I write my own script in life, but it's the purpose in her soul that guides her, as does it me in my soul. My inner core, if you want to get into definitions, of course, in the trivium, grammar is very important. So this idea of soul is going to have different meaning to others. And I will pass on further definition. Now, what I want to do is go to JJ, and let me go down over there and find what he posted this morning that I had trying to recall. Oh, yes. Was that it? Being a sovereign man? What that goes into the idea of this soul that people believe that they have a soul, or they are a soul, or this breath of life, this ruah. Oops, I said a Jew word. Did I? No. Free your mind from the chains of conformity. Michael Cross, Unlock the Door Radio. UCY Radio. Absolutely. Thanks for reposting that, James. So, sovereign. This is from Just Was Not. Jesus was not a Jew. .org. Well, I just said a Jewish word, or did I? At least Hebrew. So what is this idea, this notion of what's going on with America and their religiosity, that Israel is God's chosen people? Well, that is certainly debatable, and it is circular reasoning to say so. Let me go see if I can find what Russell. There you are, Russell Harold Kelly, over in Dallas, had posted, and I'm hoping it's right off up here on top, but perhaps not. That's not it, and I will scroll down just a little bit and look for this. Some things he says, Obama admits he's a Muslim. I'm not sure. It's obviously been longer than 27 minutes ago, so. Real Jew News. There you go. Now, he does put up a lot of stuff from this guy from Brother Nathaniel. He looks to be some type of Orthodox, maybe Greek or something. I'm not sure by his. I listen to one or two, but it's really not my cup of tea, personally. And I'm still looking. That was 30 minutes ago. Maybe I should have bookmarked that, but here's something interesting. 35 terror training camps now operating inside the USA. Well, that's nothing new, right? I mean, we can go back let's go back to the 80s and the Doristas and so forth down in Nicaragua. Hey, in the second part of the 1980s, I was on the lam in California, and I remember so well being there at Venice Beach, and some guy talking bad about Ronnie Reagan and how the evils that he was perpetuating through the Contras. This was back during all the Iran-Contra scandal going on, and I hope you hear this pecking. I hope I find what I'm looking for here, Mr. Russell. It was way down there. Some people are prolific posters, and I have been doing a little proliferation of my own propaganda this morning, I guess I might say. I may not find this. If I keep going here, I might, though. Anyways, Russell has been a Facebook friend since near the beginning. Now, I talk about this voyage of discovery that I've been on. Back in 2011, it started when, not long after I met JJ. JJ, you have been a big influence, whether you like it or not. So, there's a good one. Dadgum. He's posting a lot of Real Jew News here. This is 2 hours ago. Has it been that long ago? Here it is. I have found it. Indeed, 2 hours ago. Mr. Kelly writes, point of fact to make here is that Judaism is not actually at all what the Hebrew Israelites practiced, which may be more correctly called Hebrewism. Judaism is the modern version of the, can I pronounce this, Pharaohism? That of the Pharaohs, which Christ condemned. The Pharisees, the Talmud, and modern Judaism, chapter summary. Bible scholars are aware that Jesus Christ denounced the Pharisees. He said they nullified all the commandments of God by their tradition. Now, isn't tradition conformity, after all? I think so. Teaching for doctrines and the commandments of men. His invective in truth cannot be equaled. It's talking about chapter 23 in Matthew, which is like a whiplash. He likened the pharaohs to be a whited sculpture, indeed, beautifully outwardly, but inside full of dead men's bones and all uncleanness. This isn't a Bible preaching episode, so if you're getting up in a little goal, just stand by with me. Just stand by, bear with me. But anyways, continuing. Hypocrites. This goes back to Hal Anthony, and I'll have to go back to World Truth, and I'll pull that, what I paraphrased there. I'm going to have to turn this fan back on my computer. I hope it doesn't make too much noise. So, hypocrites. Parasites is another one also that they are. He called the Pharisee children, all of them that killed the prophets. He foretold that they would go on killing. Now, whether you believe this to be the word of God or word of man, whatever, I find a lot of wisdom in the pages. I will admit I have not at all for the last couple of years spent any time studying the Bible. I do find that the teachings of Christ will set you in a direction that allows you to live free. I think a lot of people on both sides of the aisle are probably not at all going to agree with the word I'm saying. This is rather long, and I'm probably about done with it. So he goes on to say that Christ is utterly is as utterly devastating as the Pharaohs in the record of John. Although he admitted that his hearts were descendants of Abraham, he said they were spiritually of the devil. Just saying that you're good don't make you good, I guess. Look, you know your actions speak louder than words, right? You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. See, this goes back to my idea of, and Walter, of course, would disagree with me, philosophically speaking. I know I'm guilty of logical fallacies, and, look, I'm working on and trying to tune my own mind. I'm certainly not trying to tune yours or tell you what to believe or think. You are responsible for that yourself. So, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because the truth is not in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. The missing link, what says the disinterested Christian? What has that got to do with us today? What a group of Pharisees did 2,000 years ago is over and done with. Is it? Because not only 2,000 years ago, but even beyond that, there is, in my opinion, a group, whether it be self-perpetuating or not. I think certainly the machine exists that perpetuates the world that we live in. So, what did they have to do with this? The missing link again. Understanding the subject of Pharisees is best supplied by the Universal Jewish Encyclopedia, 1943. The Jewish religion, as it is today, is descent without a break through all the centuries from the Pharisees. Their ideas and methods found expression in literature of enormous extent, of which a very great deal is still in existence. Indeed, it is. The Talmud is the largest and most important single piece of that literature, and that study of it is essential for real understanding of Pharisaism. So there is this school of thought that Christianity descends from Judaism, which, look, if there's a truth, then there's a counterfeit, right? I think that every aspect of life, all the controls are used just for that, to conform us to this reality that is giving for us today to believe. Let me get over here to albums on World Truth. I have an album of Lessons Behind the Woodshed that sometimes I take some bits of wisdom from Hal Anthony and pop them in there. So as I'm looking, which, dang it, is not titled, jury nullification, JFK assassination, birth certificate. I got these albums. Change the World. I got, come on over here and jump over. Let me go find this. This is Oh Ye Parasites. That's what's going to start for. I bet this is this. Applied knowledge, yes. Applied knowledge is powerful. And when you do that, search for your own, it kind of makes you self-responsible, doesn't it? Here it is. Got it. Parasites, woe to you, withholding the knowledge, weighing man down, burden to bear legal as law, and debt as money. And that comes from the paraphrase plagiarist, a.k.a. VREII. And that came from Hal Anthony's archives. I was listening one morning behind the woodshed. Right here, every day, weekdays, we start 8 p.m. I mean, is it 8 or is it 7? Anyways, start the day here at UCY, and I do every day, listening to Al Anthony. He has a lot to say, and it's a lot to take in. So you can call me dense instead of Vince, because I am pretty slow. Good morning, mon ami Lisa. It's not a church service, really. It ain't. I'm using quotes and words and bringing this idea that what is given and presented to us is not necessarily true, and in fact is used for conformity. Well, hey, look, we got 30 minutes down. I wondered if I could do 2 hours with not having a week to prepare. So, hey, look, like I said, if this is pissing you off, then maybe listen to what it is inside there that's pissing you off, okay? Yeah, well, Becky, she says, I'm leading up to how most conform from what she's gathered, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm leading up to anything. But what I'm not doing is telling you to believe me just because I said it. As Hal and others say, do your own research, okay? So if the words from a book cause you to be offended, then let's look at that. Let's look at that. Because, and this is my idea, well, what is so offensive to Christianity? Well, because, in my opinion, most Christians will take and beat you to death with it. Grammy Mary says, and of course paraphrase, is, yes, I am, Lisa, I am covering for Walter. But anyway, so, welcome back, JJ. So, what is this idea when people take their notions or ideas or religion and say, this is truth, I know it's true because I read it in the Bible. All right. Good Mormon. Good Mormon. Are you a Mormon? Good morning, Mama Delight. No, I'm not a Mormon. I'm not even a Christian as defined by this supposed psychologist. No, I'm not. By this supposed definition, no, I'm not. Not a Christian by any means of this common definition. I do believe in God, and I do believe that I have an accountability. And as Becky says, she lets what's inside her soul be her guide. And that's what I do. And what I've tried to do, and I'll tell you what, I've done some pretty shitty shit in my life. So I was talking with Dr. Simon last week on Character Matters, broadcast every Sunday afternoon here on UCY.tv. And I kind of use this, what do you call this? What do you call it when you're just repeating somebody else, parroting or anyways, I said that, forgiveness begins with yourself. And what I really meant to say is when you realize that what's past in life, you can't unchange. And when you come to, when you get the lesson of learning right and changing the wrong in your life, and JJ's done it. He's changed his life, as have many, removing what's not good from life, taking it out of your life. And taking that lesson and moving forward, and then let your actions be, speak for you. They do speak louder than words, after all. No labels, please. Yeah, I'm starting a movement. It's called the No Label Label, and I hope that you will join and affix your signature to the upcoming nonconformist idea and group. Yeah, that's it right there, Lisa. It is love. Aroha Nui. That's big love in the Maori language of New Zealand, the natives down there. D.M.B. Cooper says, have you heard the word of God today? God is with us and all around us. Hallelujah. Now, you got to realize that Dan's probably being a little facetious here. Hallelujah, brothers and sisters. And you can tell by the way he spelt that. Reverend Vincent will bring the light of jumping Jesus into your soul. No, that's not the point of this at all. Not preaching. Uh-oh. And Hopper HB is starting a movement of his own. And I'm pretty sure that really comes from the heart, or somewhere near the heart, at least below it. And it don't smell so well. And that ain't swell. Anyways. Well, now, let me see. Where do we go from here? Am I ready to piss anybody off? Well, I'm gonna say it again. I don't do what I do. I don't say what I say to be popular, because I sure wouldn't do what I do if I did. Don't worry, Cooper. Pope Francis is on his way to America. There's a lot involved in that. There's some little bit of ideology. Who's really going to be? Who's responsible for the way the world works? Is it that dirty hook-nosed Jew, or is it the damn Jesuit papist? Let's go see what JJ posted. I bet you this is his house. I bet. New sighting. JJ's up in upstate New York. He's the host and MC Freedom Palooza every 4th of July weekend in Pennsylvania. He's host here at UCY of Against the Wall, and is a good friend of mine. And so is Jeremiah Bullfrog, by the way. Let's take a look at JJ's house. Hey, I know that asshole on that ladder. And that's John too. What's up, JT? I met JT and JJ, like I said, 2011 on Greyhound, headed west to Vegas. Great guys. Love you very much. Good friends. Don't be throwing no rocks and shaking ladders, Hopper. Okay. So where do I go from here? Should I keep this out of this, the content that I wish to express out of this, or not? Maybe not. Shall I just go ahead and say it? Well, let's look. Everybody in here, listening right now in chat, that is, pretty much have a consensus. Then we have Dan B. Cooper, who comes in here and throws little stuff in people's face sometimes and is not really appreciated, I don't reckon. I don't think what I've had to say. Yes, Miss Jane, here comes that big old stick to stir that pot. I don't think that been too much appreciated what I've had to say. I don't think I want to go with this. Really don't. I think this is maybe perhaps better fitted for private discussion, which I think I should have. But look, this is not an exclusive. Let me just try to say it without saying it. This ain't an exclusive club right here. You don't have to conform to the ideology by others. Okay, it's okay to be different, as Denby Cooper certainly realizes. It is okay to be different by me. You don't have to like me. You can drop me down a notch or two in what you think about me. My point is, sometimes we let this idea of different ideas, different understandings. Thank you, Lisa. Kind of affect us in our opinion of others, and then that I won't open that can of worms. Let us affect us in what we think about other people. And I'm going to tell you what I notice is a lot of times people are saying the same thing in different words, and next thing you know, somebody's throwing out this or that, and logical fallacies ad hominem, circular reasoning, all this comes into play. Personally, I think that I am perhaps the most objective person I know. And you know why? Because I had to call BS on myself many, many times. And it's your fault, Walter. You're listening later. Walter had things to do today. Hey, quit flipping me the bird, dude. So if you're not listening live, of course, if you're listening downstream to the upload to YouTube, you're not getting the full money here, the full effect of chat. Yeah, that's it, JJ. And basically, that's my sentiment as well. He's got the double birds a flying. Hey, if you don't like it, lump it. Right? Oh, what about a can of worms? There, he's got another one. I got a picture of JJ climbing Dixie Rock up in St. George. That's after he dropped me off. Him and JT and James's daughter. They dropped me off up in the middle of nowhere in the desert in this little strip of Arizona north of Vegas, and just north of Bunkerville, where I was at a year ago last April at the Bundy Ranch, and maybe we'll get in and talk a little bit of that a little bit later. So, oh man, I had a great time. I spent a few weeks, and last year I did too. I like to go to the desert and pitch a tent, lay down on the ground. Court sites where I was last year, among also at Bundy Ranch in Bunkerville, and out in Vegas, White Hills, Arizona. I love Arizona. And Hammy Otto, he may have gone. He's talking about he has a trip perhaps in store for him to Arizona. I like Arizona, but it is another. There is another conformity, I guess, when you become a citizen, right? A denizen, property of the state. So I think our commonality here at UCY is probably nonconformity, right? We see the problem. Man, that's a lot of birds. That's a flock of birds there, JJ. We see the problem that's wrong with the state. We see problem that's wrong with religion. We see problems with what's wrong with media. And that's why Jules created UCY.TV. And JJ has been here from the beginning. I guess I'm really giving a lot to say to JJ, but I do have a lot of appreciation for him. I really do. And many, many others. Michael and his brother Nick here, Primer Time. Hey, I might talk about this Big Love. I also said yesterday on Lonnie Clark's show, Age of Fission, walk. Well, I said it in a lot of different ways. Let me see if I can say it in one way. walk softly and carry a big stick. Right? Be prepared. You know, hey, love will get you smacked down sometimes too. Say spare the rod, spoil the child. Well, sometimes a rod is not used to beat you with. Sometimes it's just a gentle crook to rein you back in, right? And that's part of this conformity to social norms. Hey, if you're stepping outside the norm, you might be ostracized. I'm not afraid of that. I don't give two shits, personally, what you think about me. I'm not, I guess I'm not a full-blown narcissist, as it turns out. Talking about what I spoke with Dr. Simon here a couple weeks back here now, or maybe it was last week. Talking about, well, he's got a Veterans Day special he's going to come up with. I've yet to send him an email, but look, this is what I'd said. What's better, you know, when we're looking at our foreign policy? What is that? It's using the rod, okay? Now, considering the notion of economic hitmen and jackals, okay, well, I'm going to use the analogy of a rod, okay? So they go with this rod, and dangling from it is this carrot, that the dangling carrot, which, you know, socially involves the dopamines, which Jules has talked about a great deal here in the morning, weekdays. So they go with this rod, the dangling carrot, and they hope to affect the policy that by taking that carrot to, say, a leader. Now, if he does not accept this, then they're going to shake that carrot loose and beat him with a rod. All right. So if you go instead, let's just compare cost. I mean, I don't think there's any comparison to cost when you consider what it would cost to drop a bomb or drop a tractor. All right. Instead of that rod and a carrot to start out, what if we went with a rod and a line? Oh, you get a line, I'll get a pole. We'll go down to the fishing hole. All right? So let's go with a fishing pole. And instead of giving them fish, let's stock that pond. If we're about the idea that America stands for, then I think we're really missing it. We're supposed to be a land of freedom, but how free are we? I recall, let's see, February 21st of 2012. This is not long after realizing that internet radio exists. I started out talking about so much of the stuff we talked about 20-something years ago, and it was like the only way you had any information was, books or perhaps VHS tapes conveying information. I remember, Ralph Epperson, his 26-hour lecture I listened to there, rules of engagement about Waco, people that, that were doing, what people are doing now, but it took a whole lot more to be able to do it. So if we're interested in, excuse me, I have no idea or no grasp of foreign policy and how the third world loves their poverty, says Dan B. Cooper, that I do not. So anyways, where was I? If we want to change the world, if we want to really bring this idea of freedom, are we going to box ourselves in to do it with borders? Shouldn't we really be moving that line? So, when we really, if you consider that we draw these lines in the sand, right? What are we doing with that? We're confining ourselves. Instead of being able, I guess the good thing about drawing it in the sand is you can wipe it out with your foot and move it, right? But should we be moving these borders that are supposed barriers for protection against the evils of the world? Shouldn't we be expanding them and not contracting them? Let's take our ideology of being able to live free. Shout out Nathan Frazier, Live Free FM, Sunday nights. on UCY.tv. Let's expand this idea. If you're telling me that I can't do something, then why? What would be the reason to say that? Well, if I'm hitting you with a stick, hey, I'd say you'd probably have the right to say, don't do that. Quit grabbing your junk, JJ. Oh, boy. All right. I'm easily distracted. My last name is Easley. So, I'm going to tell you what. Let me see here. What shall we do next? And there's Lutefisk has joined us in chat. Welcome. We have a few people here. Let's say howdy again. Dow, Dan, Hans Dietrich, Guten Dagen, or Guten Morgen, Hopper HB, JJ, Jules, Ludwigs, Mama Delight, Matty Clues, Papa Lupa, that's my friend Lisa, who pronounces his name Eliza, but hey, I don't never do nothing everybody else does. Solvinur, that's our friend from the Netherlands, who I am now proud to be standing in host for, Walter Hendricks. Mike has made it. Tomato, our good friend and wise consortant, Mike SLC, and victory through vegetables, Becky, my good friend. Oh, I love this computer. I'm going to have to get my old one fixed because this one really, I shouldn't really say too much bad because what if it broke on me? I guess it's better not, right? So, Dan B. Cooper says poverty and religions are the staples of the third world cultures. They love they're the dictators. What does a dictator taste like? And a lack of choices. They love their draconian religions and authoritarian governments. Is that true? Is it really true? Or are they only been conformed to the norm? Because unlike anyone else here, he's been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. Well, put it on and wear it proudly. That's what I got to say about that. What are some of the causes of peer pressure? Don't want to be different. Don't want to stand out. The nail poking up gets the hammer. Nobody wants to get hit, right? So, did I say that I ain't too much worried about conforming? I think I did. Dang. What's really going on in the world today about us? A lot of people think they got it figured out. And you know what I found? A lot of people, they're pretty much specialized in a certain topic. Me, I'm not a specialist. I'm a rambler, I guess. And I do like to ramble. It's not where you start or how you get to where you're going. It's about who you meet along the way, along that road. And that makes all the difference, doesn't it? Sure does. Thank you, Ruby. That's Ruby Evolution. Okay. And she's a friend, one of my friends that I met early on in the internet here. Some of these people that got these different ideas and notions that I had started with, you know, I set out to tell everybody, show everybody how wrong they are. And I found out that, hey, it's me that's not always right. I'm looking at a picture on Facebook of some big long trails. Big long trails. What is that? Is that a lingering condensation trail? Oh boy, kind of doubt it. So there's another notion we might share differently. Some of us in chat on global warming. Is it a natural cycle? Is it man-made? Most people here are going to say it's not man-made. Certainly not. It's not an effect from you and I, the ordinary, everyday denizen, right? Not at all. You know, just dialectic to say, look, hey, it's not what man's doing. It's a natural phenomenon, which I think a lot of it may be. But I also think there's a good chance that some problems could have been caused by probably atmospheric experiments. I don't know. I look up at the sky today, and every cloud I see, in my opinion, is at least augmented, if not artificially nucleated in its entirety. Well, we're coming up 5 minutes to the hour. I should have thought of something to play. Maybe take a little break, get a little shot of water. I think maybe I'll go look for something. I know we can play some Payday. Hey, JJ, won't you give me an idea here, and that I can pull up on YouTube and play it across the airways. We'll see how well that comes out through my speakers and through the mic on this phone. So if you don't mind, give me a good Payday in honor of our host Walter Hendricks of the Solvinur event. How about a marijuana Mardi Gras? So, I don't know what that is, but ladies' room report. Lady room sports report from Bambi Cooper. Not interested. Yeah, it is football season, right? You might say, well, that's just for these people that ain't got much brain, but you know, it has been a big part of the culture. Does it bring team spirit? Does it bring about a sense of working together? I mean, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from football. I played football as a kid, 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th grade. You know what? The most important thing that I learned from football is how to take a fall. I've been called the fall guy, the king of fall. Man, I wish I had some of the falls I've taken on video, but man, it's the grace comes in sticking the landing, for sure. So I think we can find value in everything, right? Certainly. Well, as I'm waiting for JJ, I will do a little taking of my own here. Oh, you know what? Dennis Ford posted some Payday, I believe, earlier on Facebook. Dennis Ford over on Blog Talk, doing some radio over there. Too bad everybody can't have the fine radio quality that's provided here at ucy.tv. Which one? There's a part one. Oh, that's a little more. Probably in the art gallery, finest jewels. Okay, this is more the heist parody. Hey, if you guys ain't familiar with Payday, check them out. These guys are all dressed like ICP, man. Are they a gang? Are they conforming? What's up with that? What's really up? What's really going on? So, I've not found a song. I'm not even sure if I got the same Payday. I don't think I do. This is some Payday. Yeah, I better put in Monsanto. This is something else. This is some game or something. Oh, here we go. This is a good one for Satan. Alright. So, all credit. This song does not belong to me. This is not copyright infringement. This is sharing the work, the artistry of Payday Monsanto. Also known as Space Days on Pop Revolution. Okie dokie. Here we go. Hey, don't be making fun of me, bro. Uh-oh. There it is.
He's a doctor, so we all got flu shots. Did you know the vitamins and nutrients will be illegal in the year 2010 if we don't awaken the sheeple? These globalists are murderers, they about to hook it up. Codex alimentarius, baby, look it up. They spray it from the sky like roaches as they shock you. Don't worry, they got a pill for you. Ask your doctor. Are your legs restless? Are you shy? Forget the side effects. Not that many people die. Genetically modified foods gonna bomb the nape lab rats cancer, but please don't be alarmed. Soon GMO foods will be a staple. The only thing you'll be able to put on your kitchen table. Their own documents have shown no food shall be grown at Monsanto co-owned. Worldwide, there ain't nowhere to run. Thanks to the Trade Organization and International Monetary Fund. We the sheep of America. 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 We the sheep of America. We the sheep of America. 100 plus for the world's wealthiest people meet. Every zone, just you two if this land is complete. Prime ministers, presidents, billionaires, CEOs, international bankers, C3POs, also known as the young psychopaths who fawn over their elders and give them charts and graphs, pondering how to reduce the population, injecting our boys and girls with poisonous inoculations. Yum, mercury's good, at least the news will tell you that, and they certainly should, because they're owned by the CFR, but who cares about the Royal Institute of International Affairs? Jerry Springer's on, yeah, two transvestites, talk about the fist fight. We started making plans for the order of the new world, about to send the lambs to the slaughter. You think they care about 3,000 American men, women, and children? They about to kill a couple billion. If you're in the dark, my friend, you might despise my words, but you have the wool pulled over your eyes. We the people of America. 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 We the people of America. We the people of America. Collectively in the trance, we like to dance and make romance to psychopaths who try to stereo. We the people of America. What's different from that of your great-great-grandma? Say hello to your new puppet, Barack Hussein Obama. The president doing a thing, my dear. You can stick an intelligent orangutan in there. It wouldn't mean a daggone thing. You're on my Goldman Sachs. Get on your knees and kiss the Queen's big ring. They took away your vision with bling. And in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is always king. In other words, they got the republic by the throat. Your vote don't count because they ain't count the votes. They'll never tell you where you're headed, you nerd. A good shepherd never sharpens his knives in front of the herd. That's why you keep your head down, grazing on the grass. Before you know it, now you're in a whole nother pasture. They keep you sucking on the saccharin and aspartame. It's eating your brain with a disaster. Go through the tube to see what your favorite star's doing. The corporate news is bigger than a cartoon. Even just Napolitano said you're just a nation of sheep. Some get slaughtered, some get feast. We the people of America. 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 We the people of America. We the people of America.
How you like me now? And now we got the Zippo music included.
Bah! Thank you, Payday Monsanto. Standing in. No, you stalled on this minute. Yeah, standing in for Walter Hendricks. This is Vince Easley thanking you for being a part of UCY.TV. Connecting voices, broadcasting what matters worldwide. I see. Do UCY.TV. Yes, and a big shout out to World Truth and Real Liberty Media. My place I like to be over there at World Truth, as opposed to Facebook, that is. So, hey, come on along, Eileen. You can lean on me. This comes from Nanyas over there at World Truth, and I kind of cut out a little bit of what she had to say on a post, because I thought it was relevant to conformity, or better yet, today's topic, nonconformity. He says, you have a government that has in their school, and I would say that has their school, that indoctrination camp, and I'm paraphrasing this because I am the paraphrased plagiarist, telling them that they have a government of, by, and for the people, the general public, based upon a document that has been held as truth for their existence. The current government contradicts this document constantly with their so-called laws. Lies are lies. The laws, the legalese that they speak. This is me interjecting, in case you ain't figured it out. The laws that they pass, in turn, people see beyond the portrayed reality presented to them, who look for that solution. That proposed solution doesn't fit within the system's desired perspective of their citizens. To me, this is a prime example of doublespeak. Who was talking about that the other day? Brian Fraser. He says the Declaration of Independence trumps the Constitution. The latter cannot contradict the former as law. Remember that from Hal Anthony? As. See, he doesn't have, Brian doesn't have that as in parentheses as I did in that post about these parasites perpetrating upon us this fraud. And he goes on to say, or I'll back up, the latter cannot contradict the former as law, just used for more explicit clarification of natural law. I'll go back a week or two to, and it'd be so far back I couldn't find it. I did post it, but let me paraphrase what I plagiarized, perhaps. That being, wow, this legal precedent. Okay, so from the Supreme Court, there's confirmation known as being set by precedent. But precedent comes from a prior ruling. Where the hell is that? That's circular reason. Can a dog bite its own tail? Can a snake swallow its own tail continuously? Well, if you're into turning circles, and it may work for you. You may be a conformist if you believe that. Hi, Circline. Somebody liked my status live in 15, which was an hour and 22 minutes ago. Back to chat. And here we are. Back in chat, looking at all the funky fellas and fellowettes who have something to say. And, hey, if you want to be offensive or be offended, I would say that you might have a chance of doing so right here in chat at UCY.tv. I don't think I've done a very good job of offending anybody this morning. Have I? Have I offended you? Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm too soft. Maybe I don't want to be a nonconformist. Maybe I want everybody to like me. Do you like me? Let's fire up that Zippo again. In honor of Walter Solvinur Hendricks from the Netherlands. And that's how you like that joint, looky boy. So, let's go a little bit with this legalese. And I am the Big Easy, so ease on along with me. Roll on! Big Mom. Alright, what about legalizing marijuana? Who wrote this, and if I can recall it? Again, I'll have to resort to the paraphrase plagiarist. How does this go? Yeah, legalize a plant? Who said this? I wish I could remember. Legalizing a plant as opposed to it being illegal. Now, what's up with that? How can you make lawful or illegal or legal a plant, something that grows out of the ground? How indeed. So, we're 11 minutes away from the Buzz Beaver report, because it's always 4:20 somewhere. Why don't I go find something over there from the Buzz Beaver and prepare from Just that. The Buzz Beaver. Bzzz. Leaked documents show U.S. had planned to, almost killed it, destabilize Libya, Syria, I mean. Let me pick that back up. And let me go click in to the Buzz Beaver. We're going to have something, right? It's a fictional character I created. 78 likes on Facebook. I do have over 1,000 likes on matters of sustainable living, and over 500 on a couple. But you know what? I hardly ever do anything there because it's like having sex with a barn to me. That barn door is pretty big, and you might feel like you're doing something, throwing hot dogs through the damn door. Ain't a whole lot of satisfaction in it, as far as I can find. Anyone caught with pot, even if it's just a seed, should serve at least 10 years as a mandatory minimum. That's a good idea, right? If people have no self-discipline, it's because you're a nonconformist, you damn nonconformist. No, it's no self-discipline. It's the government's job to keep it. It's the government's job to step in and change your behavior because, hey, we ain't smart enough. We ain't nothing. We just dumb those sheeple, right? Bah! Good morning, Julieta. Julieta just found out. She just found out that the iPhone has an application for knowing where our children are. She will look into this. Hey, I would suggest a chip. Hey, get it now before the lines form. Right? Now, I'm being a little facetious right there. Of course, parents want to know where their children are. In our government, our fatherland, our good old Uncle Sam. Hey, they ain't nothing but here looking out for our best interests, right? Or are they? And it is now just past 9/11 in the Rocky Mountains. Unless you're on the Pacific timeline. Come on. I think my thing got stuck. Got to unstick my thing. Keep on the grass, folks. Keep on the grass. Absolutely. Today, this is going to be a long 420 report from the Buzz Beaver. Today, someone died from meth. Someone died from heroin, cocaine, alcohol, tobacco. Hey, you moved on me. Come back here. Where'd you go? Someone died from pharmaceuticals. However, today, cannabis gave someone their life back. Indeed they did. They got it back. Keep on the grass. Keep on the grass, people. Thank you, Jenny Collins. Like I said, I've not been doing much publication to all these Facebook pages, of which I have a great many. I've used them as more or less as a kind of a chapter and verse for what matters worldwide. I see. Do you see why? .tv. Oh my word. New DEA chief says heroin is clearly more dangerous than marijuana. Who is this? Bung-ho. Bung-ho Billy. When you bring up a real world issue in front of a group of zombies, they'd be like, I don't know. Jenny's been doing a wonderful job. She's been keeping this page up and running. Which reminds me, I guess I did say this earlier, I'm working on this second voyage of What Matters Worldwide, 54 episodes, segmented propaganda intended to change your mind, to bring you outside the normalized propaganda that's been set here to tell us how we should live, right? South Dakota Indian tribe set to be the first to sell recreational marijuana. Marijuana is such a bad word. All I do love Mary Jane. Don't get mad, JJ. I know that's your wife, but cannabis is the correct term we might be looking for. Why marijuana legislation is the rare issue that divides the 2016 Republican presidential field. Who are all these yahoos? Did anybody watch the debates? I didn't. I can hardly tell you who's running. William LaSalle's been very engaged here at the Buzz Beaver. Thank you, William LaSalle. And maybe I'll get around, come back here and tag some folks when this stuff hits on down the line. Mother Gruce and Grimm. Thanks again, Jenny. You are awesome. Oh, dear. Some laboratory in California is raising medical marijuana. So, I don't know who these characters are, but it's Mother Gruce and Grimm. A flock of terns landed in their garden and ate all their plants. Oh, no. Are the birds okay? There was no tern left unquestioned. What? I'm quitting this trip. Me too. What the hell? No tern? There was no tern left unstoned. Oh, I see. I get it. I'm dense. There was no tern left unstoned. There was no stone left unturned. That's funny. And here's a family of joint. It's joint custody. It's mama joint, papa joint, and baby joint. Don't discriminate. All joints are created equal, unless you see how they ain't. How the American opiate epidemic was started by one pharmaceutical company. That comes from theweek.com. Yeah, now let's talk about that. Is it okay? Is it okay to do dope? Or should you just say no? Oh my God, I came back to chat to see that, Dan. The only serious candidate in this race is Donald Trump. I would vote for his hair if it was cut off along with his head about right below the chin. And I don't vote. So, anyways, what a joke. Come on, really? This guy made his money bankrupting companies. What do they call them guys? Carnivores, cannibal, I forget. Anyways, yeah. Good morning, Miss Jules. Now, where was I at? Okay, I got a message from Coop. You snitch. Okay. Trump, the man of American values, right? Casinos, brothels, and money laundering from Lutefisk. Yeah. Dope yourselves. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. So, we're over there, Afghanistan and all the stand-a-can countries, except for, hey, you can't get into Kanukistan without permission from the minister of, what is that? Department of the Minister or whatever he is. Well, I can't. JJ can't. And Dog can't. But Dog's not in listening to me. He's over somewhere else. Shame on you. I will send you some bad words. Okay, so anyways, we're over in Afghanistan protecting these poppy crops, right? And what do we got here a few years ago? This big epidemic. Of course, it's been building for decades, I guess, or at least many years. Remember, what's his name? The big mouth, not AJ, but you know, that big fat head that talks like him. That's on mainstream. Yeah, he was hooked on him for a while, right, and gotten some problem. But anyways, so. They put all these pills out here, and I will tell you, out here in the Ozarks, there has been a great deal of narcotic abuse, I guess you might call it. You know, a doctor can prescribe you a pill, and this guy might decide, well, hey, the doctor ain't gonna give me nothing. Go look to get their own. Okay, so now that's all dried up. All these pills that were so freely flowing, and what's the alternative? Well, how about some of the Ron? And I'm not talking about Ron Stevens coming up right after this show in 40 minutes. Yeah, Rush. Thank you. Rush Limbaugh. Thank you, Becky. That's who I was trying to think of. So, let's get some of that Ross, some of that, I said Ross, some of that horse. Good morning, Jules. The horse, the Ron, the Heron, some of that dirty tar. There's Otto. He's back. Welcome back. Okay. Or we got down there that all these flowers growing in fields and soldiers standing around protecting them. Isn't that part of why we're really over there in the stand countries? And the crawl, the walk, the ran. Oh no, I crawled, I walked, I ran. Well, we got Syria going on. Brandon Turberville. Monday night's new. Friday's repeat. Friday night. Otto from Primer Time. Tuesday nights repeats on Friday nights as well. We've got also later today we're going to have Brandon Turberville broadcasting here from his archive. Dan, I ought to delete that comment. That's despicable. RushLimbaugh.com. But you know what? You want to know something funny about that? What was it, 20-odd years ago? I'm listening to Rush Limbaugh, and I'm saying, this guy's really saying some stuff. He was actually a little bit part of what I would not call my awakening, but awareness of how the world goes or how it operates, right? So, as well as a great many others. And then come along later on and get cable or satellite television. I find Link TV, Free Speech. What is it? Free Speech TV. Of course, this is the opposite of Limbaugh. This is the far left. But these guys are the ones that was talking about so much truth. But that's the way they do it, right? Push back, left, right, left, right, left, right. Can I say these words? What is it? Thesis, consensus. Anyways, bringing you all right down there to conformity, right down the middle, right? That's what all this is about. So, yeah, we get a little truth from this side, we get a little truth from that side, pitch it back and forth, and there, that's what you got. Conformity. But are you a nonconformist? If you'd like to conform to my will, go to ucy.tv homepage, look across the very top below the banner, and you will see a bar right there. It says home, schedule, shows, headline news. You can get lots of news feeds there, by the way. Headline videos, UCY chat, earth and sky. There you go. This is what I'm looking for. Support UCY. Conform to the nonconformity and do your part to support ucy.tv. Jules provides this network to all the hosts, to you, the listener, free of charge at her expense. Comes right out of her pocket, which is a reminder that ucy.tv user on YouTube pays a penny for every time somebody goes over there and clicks onto one of that. So, hey, maybe you missed a little part of a show. So go on over there. Give her a click, give her a like, and send a penny. It's just a penance towards operation here. Commercial free. Boy, I'm wishing I had a commercial right now. Not really. Oh, here's a commercial. Hey folks, Vince Easley thanking you for being a part of UCY.tv, connecting voices, broadcasting what matters worldwide. I see to UCY.tv. All right. So thanks for that commercial message from the Propaganda Panda, the paraphrase plagiarist, none other than your very own Vince Easley. Yeah, Road Dog, you're going to get a thrashing when I get a hold of you, boy, off listening to somebody else. I'm talking about you, dog. I hope your ears are burning. I'm going to hit him with a rolled up newspaper. So, where should we go? Should I sing to you? Probably not. But, if you are a conformist, remember this.
What's best for
Remember.
because he's the doctor, so we all got flu shots.
Which brings to mind Truth or Talk on Sundays with April and Verstein. Man, if you're not listening to UCY all the time, if you're somewhere else, dog, listening to somebody else, man, you're missing a lot. You might be not be missing so much from me, but all these other great hosts, fantastic place to be right here. I'm going to pop back over to World Truth. Got several notifications come up. I've got some likes. Any more comments? Nope. Okay. Liked it live in 15. Thank you, Circling somebody. Ananias. Tony liked the fact that I have a theme going. Nonconformity. Did I lose my theme? Bryant Fraser and Circle Line, somebody like my status. You have a government that has in there, and that came from, of course, Nunez. And don't do that. And I told Circle Line, he says, I told him, let's see, I have to run down here to find it. Yeah, here we go. Much of the way we behave is determined by social norms. Everywhere we go, we're under pressure from society to act and behave in a certain way. And that's why I'm talking here like this. For all you folks over there across the waves in England, in otherwise Great Britain. Conformity. So, what did Circle Line somebody say? I can't find it. They said that but basically I think I remember they said that they always do what they're supposed to, paraphrasing, of course, except for sometimes they do things that they're not supposed to. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? All right, back to chat. Back to the chat cave. In case you were wondering, I wasn't. So, 2 hours is a long time to do with without having taken a week or two to prepare. So, you may be hearing the ramblings of a rat. Bad man. Yeah, I see you. I'm now 7 minutes past the Buzz Beaver report. Thank you. THC in your lungs. Cannabis smoke may benefit asthma and lung functions. Health benefits of juicing raw cannabis brings to mind Dodie out in California. She juices it. It's good for diabetes. It's good for everything. Good for what ails you, huh? And that that guy, the Dos Equis beer guy down in Mexico, I guess he's one of the richest men there around, but he says he don't roll a joint. He doesn't always roll a joint, but when he does, it's his ankle. I've got 248 joints in my body and not one in my pocket. The sheeple of America. So I'm over here, I'm popping around on Facebook right now. And here is Jerry Dilemmas. He's out. Let me just pop on him. I'm not going to click his post. I'm going to get to Trump blast media. I guess I did. It's not my job to defend Barack Obama. So Jerry was out there in Bunkerville. He ran for sheriff in Rochester, New Hampshire. Hey, there's a lot of freedom-loving people up there. I think they got even a town just built all around that. So shout out to Jerry. I did an interview with him while I was there, and you know what? It appeared more as an ambush on my part, and that's not my style, and it's not. But I didn't delete it because of what he had to say, which he actually responded very well, but because I thought I was a jerk. So I guess I'd censor myself. Does that make me a conformist? Maybe I conform to my own conformity sometimes. John T. Jones, active participant in my post on UCY. wide.tv. I thought I liked that post. Juliet, Kira Young. There's a friend from school, Dallas Autry, Rocio Herradilla, married and lives in Mexico. He's a güero culero como yo. Did I just say that? What? Yeah. How'd you like to live in Mexico? Some people say it's dangerous. That's what the conformists say. Oh boy, here comes a former feller from here that was with Chris. Oh, Al says, seriously? New Facebook dislike button will delete posts with 10 dislikes. That comes from USA Today. Someone says, how much worse than they could possibly make Facebook. Hey, here's a post from James Freeland 4 hours ago. 90% of the time, chemotherapy does not work. So why is it still used? There's one reason and one reason only. Can you guess? Can you guess? That's the truth about cancer. I actually covered Ty Bollinger's 11-part series. Now, you can watch free this docu-series. And you know what? I'm going to grab this because I highly recommend it. Let me see if I can grab this link here. It's not on there. Why didn't they put that on there? A link. But anyways, watch free The Truth About Cancer docu-series, and we'll just do a search real quick so I can find that for you. This, I tell you what, I've listened to it a few times. It's, like I said, it's 11, 12 hours. TruthAboutCancer.com. Fantastic bunch of folks got together. Ty Bollinger did a great job. His wife helps him with his post on Facebook. They're doing a lot. There's Ty right there. There's a picture of him. Let me grab this, TruthAboutCancer.com. I'm going to drop this to you over in chat. This is definitely some non-conformity, right? I don't like to use the word cure. It's mostly a owned term. Matter of fact, the FDA, they'll put you in jail if you say you can cure somebody. This is how I like to phrase it: correlation and correction, because you change the environment, and cancer can't live, right? So I'm back in chat here now, probably way behind. Let me propose something, Otto. Michael, would you like to come on and come in with me and give me some chatting? So, I'll type that in. I like Michael. He's a friend. We have a disagreement on a couple of issues, but that doesn't mean I have any less respect for him or what he has to say. Matter of fact, I hold him in high regard. He said no. Well, okay, but you'll hurt my feelings if you're not conform to what I want. We had a little sprinklings here earlier. It's a nice cool day in the Ozarks. We've got less than 30 minutes to go. I pulled off an hour and a half out of the hat, I guess. So, what's 30 minutes? Oh, no. You don't think he'd be a good guest today? Well, he does have a little something stuck in his craw from me, but I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at you, Otto, Michael. But I disagree. I think you would be a good guest. You know what? I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I need to step away from the mic for a moment, and so what I would like to do is play a little more from Payday, since Payday has graciously allowed us to use their music. keep your freedoms under control, grand chessboard, pigs gone wild. Hey, anything about pigs I like, because pigs squeal. That's what we're doing. We're squealing on the system, right? Pigs on pigs. Oh boy, if Dog was here, he'd probably had that as for him. So here we go. Pigs Gone Wild, Payday. And I shall be back. Here it is.
Beat the shit out of you and arrest you just for lunging. Even though you didn't, they call me Crash Man. I got a mechanism to shut off the dash cam. Disrespect me, son, you're in a world of hurt. And if she's in the area, even your girl gets hurt. Guaranteed to get your suckers on some queer shit. Somebody call the cops. I'm already here, bitch. Disregard the writing on my squad car. The only thing I'm protecting and serving is the oligarch. Handle my weapon the minute I'm out the car. Not your dog. Fuck up, he ain't allowed to park. All this fucking new world order. Being a bad thing, I am an adamant supporter. Plus I was told they would make me an enforcer. Leave the fuck up, trying to raise somebody's daughter. Since I was trained, I shot against the wall. When you address me, I always start with a king. Why are these civilians trying to walk me on? Let's get a better view of what my duties truly include and what it said I do. I'm an avid collector, I bet you never knew. My specialties include human garbage and revenue. The drug war is a sham, I'm confessing to you. But if I catch you with a speck of residue, I'm arresting you. Put me in hot pursuit, it's inexorable. You try to run into your house and I can shoot you in your vestibule. This is nothing next to new. The statute has been on the books for years. It just wasn't put into effect for you. We're gradually prepping you to accept a new reality where gunshots can stop what protesters do. Marching is illegal under Section 2, Code 4586, Parts F and U. Our job is not protecting you. We got the APVs, helicopters, tanks, and automatic weapons too. I can't decide to find a single thing. Since I was trained, you bash your head against the wall. When you address me, always start with king. Why are these civilians trying to walk before they crawl?
Nugget, get your gap.
We do not discriminate, that is liberal media propaganda. We will fuck you up with a 15-year-old girl or 85-year-old grandma. I'm a cop and a rapper, and I dance good. You can call me Officer MC Hammer. Street thugs are a menace to society. We rob them for their drugs and we teach them some sobriety. Hippies in the suburbs, there's a lot of them. I got a 40 caliber to knock them from the moccasins. The department is tripping. They want to take away our Smith and Wessons and issue us a Glock again. Not a chance. And if I see you on a subgrade, you could become another Oscar Grant. The people think the police are here to take your pain away. They must have never saw they were there to train
Okay, this is Vince Easley, your weak-minded host, back with you. Thank you for defending opinions. I'm poking fun at you, mon ami. No, my I really was trying not to do this. No, I'm not defending anybody. Look, I'm defending the right to speak And my point is not who was right or wrong, but I'm going to tell you what it devolved into was name calling, which I don't agree with. Like I said, I do like Michael a lot. I also like Chuck, and I like Daniel. And I certainly don't agree with them either on all counts. But listen, if my advice, take it or leave it. If you have a beef with somebody, take it to them, right? I would. That's what I do. That's what I do. Look. So that said, I am a moderator here in chat, so I try to be fair. And like I said, I think I'm probably the fairest person I know. So yes, you're right, Lisa. I think he did start it, and this brings to mind when Michael said niggers picking Jew. Hold on, you can't say no, girl. You too white to say no, girl. I think I did. It's too late. Hold on. He was being facetious. Facetious, I tell you. I'm not stirring it. I'll stop. Okay, I stopped already. Oh boy. If you ain't in chat, you're missing it out. Okay. Look. I think there's room in this world for all types of dissenting information and ideas. Being wrong don't make you right, or them right, or nothing else, right? Or does it? Anyways, all I'm saying is, as moderator here in chat, and I certainly probably need to be censored myself sometimes. I get crude for Lisa's taste, especially sometimes. But isn't this a place that is our home right here? Isn't this like family here? Not all family get along all the time. So, yeah, we can relax. But if you're not being positive, then you're not being conformist. So conform, damn it, conform. But anyways, no, seriously, let's make this a place we're proud of. There's no reason why we can't discuss dissenting ideas. Matter of fact, I think it's very important. I did say the other day I don't debate. I've said it many times, but I would make an exception. I would be interested in moderating a discussion, a debatable discussion, or discussion debating such issues in lead versus love, that sort of thing. Because I'm sure believer, if somebody comes up and hits me in the head, then I think I'm going to try to do something to keep them from doing it again. So, Aroha Nui anyways. Alright. Dr. Peter Giddon. Thank you, Don Barthel. He is also a person that contributes to my timeline, and he just liked the fact that we are live. And I see some other folks coming up over here. Liam Chef, he's just posted Trap, the Real Art of Protest photo. Liam, of course, is on tomorrow, every week, every Sunday. Liam Chef, the Liam Chef Show. He also has some ideas that I may not necessarily, and here's a post about it, necessarily agree on. It kind of flies in the face of some of these conformist ideas that I hold. So Liam says, the reason the image below is lazy, political bullshit is, oil is the energy source that built the 20th century. Now, how true is that? And when we bitch about oil being $5, gasoline, petro for you folks across the waves, as being too high at $5 a gallon. Think of all the horsepower you get out of that, really. Now, the problem is not the, well, there's a lot of problems, but one of the problems is the control that is held over everybody's head by this petrochemical industry, and it is far and wide. It goes beyond just the mere price of gasoline. Petro. So anyways, Liam goes on to say, oil is the energy source that built the 20th century. It is the very best energy source we've ever seen, more than human slavery, animal muscle, wood, or coal. And hopefully science fiction alternatives that replace it don't exist. What? Hopeful science fiction alternatives. Now he's claiming, of course, this goes way back to prior conversation that I had with Liam on so-called perpetual energy, perpetual motion machines, free energy, and specific and to the point was my schedule post was published. That's Ron being announced. That goes to point at the Tesla energy of being able to pull it out of the sky. I intend fully to engage Liam and definitely have him have a segment in the Volume 2, What Matters Worldwide, and discuss this, because he calls it science fiction right there, as you say. Now, perhaps I don't understand as much of what it is I think I do, but I'll continue. Conversation could help. There you go. That's what I was just talking about. But we don't do that, or do we? I guess I'm conversating right now. Some solar and wind would buffer the electrical grid a bit, but that cost oil, metal, coal, and gas to make too. That's correct. He's made some very good points about this. You know, look at the toxicity that goes into the production of solar panels. Continuing. Nuclear power. Watch out. Nuclear power. Watch out, Lonnie and Kevin. Nuclear power is a mental defect in our tool-making species. The idea that we can manage something with a million-year toxic cycle is mental illness. I agree. Back to oil. We burn look at this. We burn 19 million barrels per day. We run 250 million cars in the U.S. alone. And the computers in the image that he's included below have only gotten smaller. Indeed. I've got, what is this, a 3x5 piece of technology that is carrying my voice right now. It's actually, in many ways, far superior to this 2 gigs of RAM that this computer runs on. POC. Not a PC, but a POC that I got. Hey, I better shut up and not complain about it. It's working right now, right? It is being a part of connecting voices, broadcasting what matters worldwide. Okay, so they have gotten smaller, right? And there's a picture of, hey, how do you get a picture of my phone? Wait a minute. Hey, you been sneaking in my back door? Woo, pardon the pun. But they still use energy. There are billions of them, so they're much more energy. More rare earth metals, and the mining, production. For them, that kills many, many people in many areas. Just look at what goes on in China. We're not owed a permanent 20th century. Yeah, it's time to move on, and try to find something better, bigger and better. We don't like these little things. Humanity lived as foragers and agriculturists for 250,000 years, says he. We're going to be brought back to it rapidly, and hopeful delusion like this won't change that. liamchef.com/oil-alarm. You know what? I'm going to grab that for y'all. And we will drop that into chat. I will have to go back and read some of this in chat that I've missed, because I feel like maybe I missed something. Feel the love, baby. Yeah. Wait a minute. It says page not found. It is too. It's right there. I'm looking at it. So, where am I? Okay, we're down to about 10 minutes. Da 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 da. Okay. Pig's gone wild. Alright, I'm back to Liam Chef page here. Reminding you. So, yeah, he is on Facebook, Liam Chef. I need to invite him over the world too. He's, of course, friends of April and Verstein. A couple of wonderful gals right here. Tomorrow. Science, a religion of destruction that uses a little math to make itself look respectable. Religion. Myth that pretends it's history. Humanity, a tool-making mammal that believes the myth it creates. Indeed it do. Don't it, Liam? Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here to UCY page on Facebook. And I'm going to tell you that Ron Stephen, he misspelled his own name on Facebook, so I won't hold that against him. I'll tell no man how to change his name. But anyways, coming up, Ron, I'm gonna get you this. I probably do it off the top of my head, but every time I try to quote something, it seems that I misquote it. But anyways, this is the lineup for UCY.TV Saturday. Salvador Gigante Telemundo. No. Mundo. Okay, so after Walter, which I'm doing a poor impersonation of right now, comes Ron Stevens. It's a replay. He's live tomorrow and Tuesday and Thursday, by the way. Also, late tonight, actually, at 10 p.m. Eastern, Canada Live with Ron Stevens will be simulcast right here on UCY.TV. So following Ron, we have Nuclear Hot Seat with Liv Halevi. I have to go pull it up to tell you what she's talking about, but I did post it. Then Geoengineering Watch with Dane Wigington. Unlock the Door, Michael Cross. Unlock the Door Radio, UCY.TV, Michael Cross at 4 p.m. Eastern. Truth on the Tracks with Brandon Turbeville at 5. Cutting Through the Matrix with Alan Watt. That is at 6 p.m. Our Interesting Times with Matt Kelly, followed by Sovereign Tech with Brian Sovereign at 8 p.m. Then again, Canada Live with Ron Stevens, one of the best shows on air, and the ever, forever, always entertaining, informative replay from the Dalai Lama on Cold Reality Radio at midnight on the East Coast. So, is what I want to do. I've got a couple of descriptions here that I will share of some upcoming broadcasts today. Hi, Dana Martin. I see she just updated her status. She, of course, the unschooler. Where? Where are you at? Which one am I looking for? I'm looking for... Yes, Cutting Through the Matrix, coming up at 6 p.m. And Alan will open wide your wallets, if you please, to pay for a dose of the SDGs. Man, what a good dose of that will do to you. Mercy. Then, where are you at? I got to back up. Come here, Miss Liv Halevi. Today is number 220 from Liv Halevi. It's a journalism special. King 5, NBC Seattle, award-winning investigative reporter Susanna Frame on her Hanford Reports. Professor Dr. Celine Marie Pascal on MSM's Epic Fail RE. Fukushima coverage plus do-it-yourself media, social media, super tips with Dave Parrish. Hey, Dave's pretty good. He's going to probably, no doubt, tell you some. Last report from him was on Google Plus. Did you know that it's fastly outperforming Facebook? So if you were involved in social media, I would highly recommend that you stay tuned for more informative tips. All right. Wow, can you believe it's almost been 2 hours? How many's left? Well, I guess we've added a couple. Let me give y'all a shout out. Circle Line, awesome, you made it from World Truth. Circling somebody, my friend, how to do. So proud to have you along. World Truth, Real Liberty Media, friends of UCY.TV, Dalnick, Dan B. Cooper, Hopper, HB, JJ, Joel, Julie Stan, the wonderful person that's making all of this possible. You're awesome. Ludwig's, Mama Delight, Matty Clues, Nunez is here too. Yeah, another World Truth listener. So glad you're here. Nunez, I did use your quote on air, so I will be posting this show up to back to World Truth from YouTube after it uploads. Atovan Bolswing, or Atovan Hamburger, Papalupa, my friend, Lisa Monami, Kateva, Solvinur, Tomato, which is Miguel, and Victory Through Vegetables, and last and certainly not least, your very own nonconformist, me, myself, and I. We're all together. There you are, girl, guy. Oh, and I was calling you a girl, but I think Nunez is a dude. And circling. All right. I'm very proud that y'all made it over here. I always have a great shout out to World Truth, Real Liberty Media. World Truth provides the site for how to broadcast, and I put Hal right up there in the very top of the list of those broadcasters that I listen to faithfully. Matter of fact, it might make me a conformist, but to the ideas that Hal brings forth. But I listen to 2 hours every morning on Hal Anthony starting the day here at UCY. Then again on Sunday when he's live, and Thursday night, this week's replay. And guess what? Hal actually has my old spot on UCY.TV Thursday nights at 7 Central. So, anyways, hey, I'm very glad you guys stuck it out. Might not like everything I say, but ambiguity. Yeah. Anyways, so thanks again, everybody. And remember, keep speaking out, shouting out, stand up for what's right. Look, this world's pretty much screwed up, and I think it's our obligation to try to be a part of the change, and change starts with yourself. Do not conform. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to kick your legs and turn it into butter. That was my impression of Liam doing Christopher Walken. So, okay. Am I talking to y'all wrong here or what? I'm not that great at impersonations, but hey, I can laugh at myself. And you're welcome to laugh at me if you're not laughing with me. So, hey, bada boom, bada bing. We're coming up to the end. Again, thanks to everybody for listening. Thank you, Walter, for asking me to stand in for you today. I would like to think I'd have done a little better production had I taken a week or two to prepare, but hey, that's just me. Off the cuff, this has been your host, Vince Easley, also known as the plagiarized, paraphrased plagiarist, the propaganda panda, properly pandering propaganda to you so that you can be a conformist in nonconformity, right? Take us out. Somebody let me, turn me loose. Touch me, turn me on, and burn me down. I'm not sure if I burn this up or not. I think we got another minute to go. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. Thank you for Nunez. Circle Line, always engaging me on World Truth. Thank you very much. Big shout out. Again, I just can't tell you how proud and grateful I am for everybody that's doing everything that they're doing. And I'm going to say this is the end. Au revoir, mon ami.
Apparently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
I think a new world order is emerging.
An inside job, How dare you? How dare you?
To create, so to say, mass-produced models of human beings arranged in some kind of